Israel's military may have started to withdraw from Jenin, but thousands of civilians who were caught in the crossfire are still dealing with the consequences. Since yesterday, it's been difficult, said this man. A drone was shooting at us, and we're all so tired, we've had nothing to eat or drink. Israeli soldiers use stun grenades and tear gas to clear areas as they search for militants in the densely packed refugee camp. Its military claims ammunition, explosives, and a warren of hidden passages were discovered under a mosque.
So much for mosques being a holy place. Also, kind of looks like what's happening in France. I heard in the riots there was a guy who had a RPG. I wouldn't be surprised if they hid it in a mosque.
The violence, however, was not contained to Jenin. In Tel Aviv, a Palestinian man crashed his car onto a crowded sidewalk and then went on a stabbing rampage.
A stabbing rampage. Sounds like all the knife attacks that are happening in the UK.
Wounding at least 7. It was in retribution for Israel's raid, said Hamas, who claimed the man as one of their members.
Retribution for Israel's raids? Raids on what? The refugee camp? I'm thinking so, because the Israelis were cracking down in there to find militants.
He got out through the vehicle's window, said a teacher who saw the attack. He had a knife in his hand and started chasing civilians, and we ran for our lives. The 21-year-old attacker was shot dead by a passerby.
Yep, the unarmed people, they run for their lives. But the armed passerby put him down. Probably saved lives.
Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who has defended Israeli settlers who've burned Palestinian homes.
Whoa. Israeli settlers burned Palestinian homes? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? Okay, so I googled it. Hundreds of Israeli settlers torch Palestinian homes and cars after deadly shooting at settlement. A 27-year-old Palestinian was killed and 12 more were wounded after hundreds of Israeli settlers torched dozens of Palestinian homes and cars in the occupied West Bank. I don't think... Is that legal? I mean, that can't be legal. Part of me wants to make a Putin reference, Russia-Ukraine thing, but I'm just gonna sort of move on.
Showed up to encourage Israelis to start carrying guns. Weapons save lives, he said.
Yeah, guns do save lives. Is that why so many countries are banning them? I don't know.
Parts of Jenin, meanwhile, were left in ruins. Roads were destroyed. Supplies of water and electricity were cut.
We're seeing one of the hospitals being subjected to tear gas.
Canadian Lynn Hastings is the United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator.
United Nations resident? That sounds like some serious globalist stuff. Like I hear on InfoWars or Salty Cracker or Mark Dice.
In the occupied Palestinian territory.
So people are not able to get medical assistance. We need the humanitarian lanes. We need humanitarian workers together with the supplies to be able to get in and out.
Businesses in the West Bank.
So after I watched this video clip, I googled the West Bank and this is what I found. And there's Jenin up in the north there. So I'm guessing this conflict started because Israeli settlers were torching Palestinian homes? I guess? So how do you end all this fighting? Well, in my simplest explanation, if I'm not mistaken, the Gaza Strip, the people in there are Palestinian. And one of the main reasons for all this conflict is because the Israelis can blockade the Gaza Strip. So you take all the people from the Gaza Strip, move them into the West Bank, and then you take the landmass size of Gaza Strip and attach it to the West Bank. And what I mean by that is you just give them more land to the south. Declare them an independent nation and just let them do their own thing. Yeah, they'll be landlocked, but at least they wouldn't be divided, right? and or blockaded if Israel gets ticked off. Would that solve the conflicts? Probably not. As the saying goes, both sides have to want peace. And, Israelis burning homes. That's not very peaceful, but at the same time, trying to mow people down with your vehicle and then try to stick people in a rampage, that's definitely not peaceful either. Well, anyway, take care out there in Clown World.